All right, welcome back, watch fans. Today we got an amazing watch market update. That's right, courtesy of Juan and Kino, who have both been deported to La Isla del Cucarachas y Basura. You don't know where that is? You Google it. That's right, you Google it. So if you've noticed, this cockroach, his background has been very different the last few weeks. As we've been telling you, this guy, Juan and Kino, have been deported by El Trump. January 21st, they got put into a rowboat and they had to row back. That's right. Remo, papi, Remo, all the way back to La Isla del Cucarachas. Again, you don't know where that is? You Google it. You Google La Isla del Cucarachas. But anyway, I always like to get this tomato can's take on where the market is, only because it's interesting to see kind of the what is the word I'm looking for? The color. We're looking for overall market commentary, the sentiment readout. We're looking for market sentiment readout, and I do, in terms of getting the overall reading of the market, I do consider this tomato can here, Carlito Brigante. I do consider him, this hubcap thief, actually a decent source of market sentiment. Now, this guy knows nothing. I mean, he's basically a mongoloid who basically, his taste is collecting kind of like, I don't know, your basic bitch type watches, your basic Rolex, whatever the hype watch is, and I think he got very bitter because he got stuck with a Rolex. What is it they call it? The Smurf or whatever. I mean, it's the watch that nobody buys. It's a white gold Submariner with that blue dial. But it's a horrible watch. But he paid 44 grand. He was taking advantage. He was exploiting. That's right. This Juan and Kino, they were exploiting a young gentleman's in Miami. This young kid who bought a watch on his parents' credit card, and Juan and Kino come in like the vultures, like this vulture that he is. He comes in, he knows that this kid is paying 24% interest on his parents' card, and he offers him 44 grand for the watch. And sure enough, today the watch, you can't even give it away for 30 grand. You can't give it away. Full set, use, slide, or condition. You can't give it away. That's right. So whatever advice you get from this guy is going to be bad. But he's got an interesting point. The reason I'm going to be showing you this video is he's talking about a brand which I hate. It's called Moser. And we're going to be talking about the Moser and the scam that the watch community is pulling on you. That's right, the watch community. There's no community, okay? This whole concept of it's a scam, okay? You got these watch live stream Muppet boiler room channels. They're not your friends. They want to pick your pockets. They want to steal your children's school lunchbox money. That's right. Just like Juan and Kino want to steal your hubcaps and your coral stone tile that's parked at the job site in Miami. That's right. That's what these guys are doing. Or before they were deported, of course. Now they're just, I don't know, they're stealing cucarachas. The Moser brand has been hyped by all these Muppet boiler room channels, and it's a shitter watch. And let Juan tell you where the market really is. Don't believe these guys. I mean, this Moser, the Tango, this is the second coming. I mean, this the great independent brand. The Moser is basically, I don't know, it's a piece of shit watch. I don't understand why people are so hyped about it. I mean, but let the Poppy tell you.
Down to 16, and ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your money, but don't pay for that Snoopy. Don't pay for that Snoopy. You do whatever you want, but don't.
By the way, that buzzing sound, that's his internet connection. That's, again, La Isla del Cucarachas. The internet there is not very good, so you're getting this buzzing feedback sound.
Pay for that Snoopy more than $13,000 in dropping. You do whatever you want. We're talking about full set, okay? Con todo periquito.
He's talking about Omega. Stay away from Omega. This garbage. Again, we've been telling you this for forever, from day one. Omega basically is, it's just a mass market, whatever. I mean, you can just buy this watch. I mean, there's no difference between the models that they made in, I don't know, 25 years ago, and You get this watch for $3,000, $2,000. Why would anybody pay for a new watch? Just put it. You can get. By the way, you get this strap, this nice strap. You get a custom-made strap for $200, less than $200. Jean Rousseau, better strap, whatever color you want to match the doll. You don't need this garbage. Why would you want to buy a new? It's just mass-produced swatch garbage.
No hay moneda, no hay cuartos. La situación está jodida, muchachos. No hay dinero.
I get nothing wrong with Omega, but I mean, you can get a really, if you really like Omega, and listen, they made some really nice watches. Not my thing, but they made some nice watches. You can get for $2,000 or less, $3,000 even. Which the full thing, right? The whole chrono, everything. I mean, they're going to be a little bit older. They'll be, I don't know, the 2005, but it's the same watch. It's the same watch. Nothing has changed.
Listen, a dozen box of eggs. You're not going to believe this, but they say it's going to reach the number of $14.99.
Eggs. That's I was actually at a farmer's market. Unbelievable, but true. It's Carlito Brigante. That's right. It's Carlito Brigante. And you know what? You want a beer? You want a beer? You come back. You reach down into the bottom of that cooler. Yeah, we got some beers in the bottom of that cooler. Yeah, just reach down to the bottom of the cooler, get that beer. While Carlito shows you that trick shot, the pool shot, he'll show you. He's got a trick shot he wants to show you. But yeah, this yeah. I mean, this is that's what happens. It's what happens. I mean, this guy's trying to save money to buy to set up a rental car business in Puerto Rico, and who knows what happens. He knows what happens. But yeah,
that's in the United States of America.
Benny Blanco.
Dozen eggs are going to reach $14.99.
Oh yeah, I was a farmer's market. It's unbelievable. I think I always thought the idea of like this farmer's market, right, is you get these yokels that come in, they bring you their stuff, they're selling to you direct. You're going to buy it cheaper, right? It's going to be cheaper than at, like, I don't know, Whole Foods, for organic stuff, right? No, the prices are higher. And by the way, this is in San Francisco. They have that ferry building. They got the farmers market there. Yeah. By the way, the quality of the produce in the Bay Area, that like northern San Francisco Bay Area, is the best in America, because they got that volcanic soil from all the volcanoes. So the quality of the vegetables, fruit, it's great. Especially if it's organic. I mean, you really taste the difference. But I mean, the price. These guys are asking crazy price. I'm not in the market for eggs, but I can't believe I actually did see a guy selling a dozen eggs for $15. I mean, they were organic and whatever, but it's the same chicken. It's the same chicken.
I can imagine if you asked for those eggs organic. It's unbelievable. That's what it is. Our next watch is an H. Moser.
Okay, he's talking about the Moser. Okay, so we're talking about the Moser, which, by the way, is kind of like, I don't know, is this a legitimate brand? I don't know. Yeah, of course it's live. What do you think? We do, this is not the Juan and Kino show. This is live. Exactly. Donate. You got to send money to the channel. That's what this is. The whole point of this channel is for you to send money, wires. And by the way, when you join the channel, you click the join button, you're going to have access to our top secret content. And you know what? You'll also have access to, we'll also give you, for a limited time only, free watch collection review, just like video, custom video, just like we've done for, what's his name? The Taliban guy. We did one for the Taliban guy. We did one for another tomato can. Real collectors, guys who have real collection. So again, I'm not looking for, don't send me your Omega bullshit. But if you have your real watch questions, Patek, etc., we're doing it for a limited time. Again, it's a charity, $5 only. After that, it's going to be like a couple $100. Because I mean, come on, anyway. So this brand Moser is a bullshit brand. I don't. It's been getting hyped up by these Muppet boiler rooms because they're looking for, again, the whole game is novelty. Oh, we got a brand new aristocrat. Unbelievable. We got a brand new aristocrat. Noah is now a baron. Noah has now become a baron. Officially, Noah, make sure to tell your friends, your relatives, They got to call you Baron Noah. That's it. Baron Noah, that's your official title. And, if you send in your pictures of your watch collection to brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com, we'll give you a collection review video. That's right. We'll give you a collection review video. Now, what's been going on with Moser is you got a conspiracy happening. You got these Muppet Boiler Room channels, these grifters out there that they know that you guys want novelty, right? Everybody wants the new thing,
Hey, Moser, you're the loser.
They want the new thing, right? Like, so they give you this thing. They think, oh, this is going to be the next hype watch, whatever. I don't understand it. You got to explain to me what makes this thing special. You got to explain to me why it's worth. Hold on, how much are they asking? I'm actually, I don't even follow the prices because I never was interested. But listen to this.
Unbelievable, that Moser. The Chi, Pioneer, Sentry, Seconds, 3200, 1214 with a Blue Lagoon dial. Unbelievable, this H Moser.
This may look like your favorite childhood crispy treat, but with 12 grams protein and only
garbage.
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This has a Blue Lagoon fume dial. This watch has a
Fume, papi, it's fume.
retail price of $15,300.
$15,300? Are you kidding me? Retail price? I mean, this is a basic watch. Steel. It's a steel watch, right? I don't believe this. Now, what makes it special? Why should you buy this? Is it high horology? I am sure they do something nice. Who gives a shit? I mean, what you're getting here is you're basically getting a basic watch, right? Like, is the design special? It's not. There's nothing innovative about it. It's relatively basic. I guess if you like this kind of dial, like, whatever, there's really nothing. There's zero special about it. The case is basic. Everything is relatively basic. But, again, these guys have no imagination and they feel entitled to demand $15,000 for this piece of shit. But the reality is nobody's buying. So what are the prices? Let Poppy tell you.
Unbelievable looking time machine. Unbelievable looking time machine. And this has a stainless steel casing and has a rubber strap and it's a 42 millimeter. How much? No, you're way off, buddy. Way off.
Kleinfeld.
Oof. We're giving money away still, dude. People are just giving it away. Don't pay for that H Moser, Chi Pioneer, Sentry, Seconds, 3200, 1214 Blue Lagoon, fume dial. Retail price $15,300. Don't pay more. Don't pay. I mean, you do whatever you want. You're gonna be in shock. But don't pay more than $7,000 in property.
$7,000. I mean, I don't know. $7,000. I mean, that's a big drop. Now, I got to tell you something. I think this thing could drop to zero. I mean, why would somebody want to buy this, right? Hang on a second. One moment. Ladies and hang on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, hang on a second. Let me pull something up real quick. Let me show you something very important. Hang on a second. Okay. Hang on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to show you something here, which is we got to show you Juan. That's right, Poppy. This is in his youth. In his youth, when he was a youth. When he was a youth, who buys Moser? Bukiaks, Chomos, Kyrgyzstanis, Kyrgyzstan and Bukyakistan. Kyrgyzstan and Bukyakistan buy Moser. That's the market, suckers. Ugly South. $4.99 donation. We'll pull this up. Label Noir Milgauss. Wow, that's exotic. I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna have to Google it. Label Noir Milgauss. Look at this. This is why I do this. I learned something new. I'm going to pull this up. Okay, remind me to pull this up. But I want to show you this, which is Carlito Brigante when he was a youth. This is him just a few years ago. He was on trial, and this is his lawyer on the right. His name is Kleinfeld.
Okay, Your Honor, with all due respect, past and present, and without further to-do.
Let
me ensure this court.
Ensure.
that I am through walking on the wild side. That's
We're all walking on the wild side, just like Lou Reed.
all I've been trying to tell you. I have been sick with the social ills known in the ghetto, but my time in the sterling correctional facilities of Greenhaven and Sing Sing has not been in vain. I've been cured. Born
Born again.
again, like the Watergators. I know you heard this
Sean Penn, great actor. One of his great roles.
right before, Your Honor. I mean it. This is the
Your Honor, the watch market is dead. Get it through your head. Can you see this? It's the same guy. This is Juan. This is Juan. This is when he was on trial for hubcap thievery. This was when he was getting out of jail for hubcap thievery. He was in Sing Sing for 20 years. They put him in Sing Sing 20 years for stealing hubcaps.
the truth. I changed, and it didn't take no 30 years like Your Honor thought, but only 5.
5.
That's right, sir.
That's right.
5.
So Poppy got out of the Who Scout in 5 years for stealing hubcaps in the Boogie Down Bronx. And you know who was his accomplice? Keno. That's right, Keno.
Years, and look at me, completely rehabilitated, reinvigorated, reassimilated, and finally going to be relocated. And I want to thank a lot of people for that. I look over there and I see that man there, Mr. Norwalk. I want to thank you, sir, for making the tapes in an illegal fashion. I would like to
Unbelievable, but true.
thank the Court of Appeals for reversing you, Your Honor. And I want to thank Almighty God, without whom no case gets tossed.
I can't believe this.
Oh, I must have forgot. How could I forget? My dear close friend,
Kleinfeld.
lawyer, David Kleinfeld, who never gave up on me through everything.
And as Trump says, never, ever, ever give up. Just like David Kleinfeld.
Thick and thin, right, Dave? Why don't you just stand up here? Just stand up.
Mr.
Please stand
Mr.
up.
Brigante.
Davy Kleinfeld.
Okay, Mr. Brigante, you're not accepting an award.
Stand by me. I just want.
Court of Appeals decision. And the
Unbelievable, but true. I mean, this is the same man, rehabilitated, reassimilated, and finally relocated back to La Isla de las Cucarachas. He is at La Isla de las Cucarachas right now. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable, but true. Now, let's talk about Moser. Well, actually, let me address a question. We got a major donation here, so I'm gonna bring this up right here. Label Milgauss. What is this? What is this? Label Noir? I don't know what this is. I'm finding out for the first time. This is it, right? This is it. So this is one of these, what do we call them? Tuned watches, we call them. I did a whole video on Artisan de Genève, and a couple of other guys. Check it out on this channel. That's right. I think it could be for members only, but yeah. So, okay, so Artisan de Genève does this stuff. And who is this? Label Noir. Okay, so basically it's a company. Label Noir is, I never heard of them, but apparently they're different. They are different than Artisan de Genève. Okay, so my take on this, I did a whole video on this, and it's this, right? Look, in the in the car community, right? Tuned cars do get, again, if it's done right, if you customize certain cars, like you gotta listen. There's a guy. There's two guys. By coincidence, they're both Iranian or Persian, whatever they want to call themselves. You got this guy, Manny Koshbin, the Koskesh of Newport Beach. And then you got this guy, Exotic Car Hacks. What's his name? Pejman Gadimi. Pejman Gadimi, the Koskesh of Boca. So this guy, Pejman Gadimi, Exotic Car Hacks, if you look at his videos on YouTube or the other guy, what this guy does is he focuses on buying, again, this is very advanced stuff, like Ferraris, Lambos, whatever, new cars, again, new, but he gets them made to like a certain spec with like certain whatever, and they're kind of rare, and he's able to flip them allegedly. I don't know, whatever, but he can get a premium. So if people are willing to pay a premium for a tuned Porsche, a tuned Lambo, a tuned Ferrari, which is customized with whatever, why does that not work to watches? I believe it's because the watch market is not ready yet. I mean, in terms of the tomato cans, they haven't figured it out. I think this is very cool. I mean, this is not my taste. Like, I wouldn't do a black watch. I like what Artisan de Genève does. I think what they do is amazing. Artisan de Genève does amazing stuff. I think it's worth buying the watch if you can afford it, meaning like if you really love it, you buy it, but don't expect you're going to get your money out, because it's going to cost you an extra, whatever, 10 grand, 20 grand to do the customization. But I think it's worth it, especially long term. And if you got the money, you should do it. I really believe it, because it's you're going to have a completely different watch. And I think at some point, the watch market is going to realize the value of this, especially from the better customizers like these guys, which is, let me show you this, Artisan de Genève. What they do is, let me see, amazing. Let's see. I'm not here to advertise them. These guys, I reached out to them. They never got back to me, so they can go fuck themselves. Let me see. Where are the models that they have? Let's take a look at the watches that they made. Custom. They don't. Where is this? Okay, here we go. Okay, so they have different stuff. Their website is so bad, but this is what they do, right? They do this type of weird customizations, which they can do. Look at this. They made this watch into they turned a GMT, I think, into a world time watch. There's the watch. They do other stuff. I mean, they do. I mean, but they work primarily. I think you should do it with Rolex. I mean, okay. There's the watch, right? Look at this. So it's got 2 time zones. What they did is they turned this watch basically into a legitimate 2 time zone watch. I mean, I guess technically a GMT, but they could do amazing things. I think if you have like a really unique idea or whatever, you should do it. Look, I'm just clicking on their stuff at random. Hang on a second. And they do different stuff, but okay, so this is, again, they do different customizations. Look at this. I mean, okay. So let me pull up the watch. I mean, this website is so annoying. Like, I gotta put up with this bullshit here. I gotta put up with this bullshit on this. Where's the watch? Okay, so look at this. So they're not showing you the full watch. Okay, they do stuff in gem set. Look what they did. They skeletonized a Daytona. Okay, no big deal. But they can also add different complications. They put whatever. Listen. They can do amazing stuff. I think that the watch market is going to catch up to this, and it's going to be really, really worthwhile. Patel, everybody on this channel, the Barons, the Dukes on this channel, they know Artisan de Genève. We've done videos on Artisan de Genève. So anybody who's been watching this channel for the last year knew about Artisan de Genève probably before you did, you tomato can. No, you know what? Fuck these guys. You know what? I give up on these channels. I'll tell you what. I realize, these tomato can channels, this Archieverse, these Kukistan, Chomostan, Bukyakistan, which, I mean, basically you're the ambassador, you're the Maharaja of Chomostan. What am I can't. There's no point to it. I don't want to deal with these tomato cans. Why am I wasting time on, on the Watch Nicholas channel, talking to Bear Clooney, the Suka Brett, who he's basically a retard. I mean, the guy is a fucking moron. I mean, why am I wasting time talking to a guy who doesn't know that Chuck Yeager was the guy who really created the Rolex GMT? He was the guy that inspired it, right? That was the guy. That was the test pilot that got him the whole aviation thing, right? This guy, he's a moron, right? He buys the fucking all the wrong watches. I don't want to deal with these Rolex fanboys who buy basic bitch watches. I mean, it's a waste of my time. The Archie, the JJ, the Chomo stand, the Curly, I mean, look, and I said, look, the Patel Philippe, this guy knows about his watches. For some reason, he's afraid to come on this channel. He won't come on this channel because he's, he doesn't donate because he's part of the Chomo stand, and he doesn't come on the live streams because he, you know what it is, he doesn't have the balls. Listen, this channel, it's very polarizing. That's right, it's polarizing. I'm like the Trump of the watch channels. I'm like the Trump circa 2021 of the watch channels. It's like, listen, every great truth goes through three phases. At first, it's ridiculed. Then it's they fight it with everything they can, and then it's realized, oh, this is accepted as apparent truth. So right now, the Watch Reporter channel is in the phase where everybody's like ridiculing it and fighting against it. They're blacklisting it, everything. I would say within 6 months, a year, maybe, this channel says, oh, this is the place to get the real truth, the real reality, the real quality content, not the Chomo stand garbage spewed out by the tomato can watches. I mean, who cares about a guy who's got, he's got 5 basic Rolexes, brand new watch? It doesn't tell me anything. Anybody can buy a new Rolex, okay? It might be, you may have to pay up a little bit, whatever, but it doesn't, it's not impressive. Anybody who buys a new Patek, a new Rolex, it's not impressive. You know what's impressive? You know what shows me that you're a real collector, that you got some balls? You buy something like this, okay? You buy something like this, which I don't really care for, but, it's, it shows me you got, at least a unique personality. To me, this is the final frontier. We're talking about, taste. That's what, look, at the end of the day, the concept of collecting watches, fuck collecting watches, right? But if you're going to have more than a few watches, why don't you focus on getting unique stuff that nobody else has? You don't want to walk into a room and every other tomato can has that same watch. You don't want to walk into a room and everybody's got an Aquanaut, okay? And there are rooms you walk into, everybody's got a fucking Aquanaut and Nautilus, okay? The same watches. I guarantee you, this watch, nobody has, okay? And it doesn't have to be that expensive. It doesn't have to be this watch. And I'm not, these guys, I'm not on the payroll. I'm not on the payroll for these scumbags, Artisan de Genève, that they're not paying me a penny. But I respect what they do. This is the real horology. This is, to me, the real horology. Doing something like this. Would I buy this? Maybe. Oh, this is a Nautilus. Look what they did with the Nautilus. Hang on a second. What a terrible website. I got to look at all these things. I can't even get to the fucking watch. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Anyway, or vintage watches, neo-vintage, whatever. I mean, I don't want to wear the same shit that, everybody else has. I mean, that's not interesting. It's not interesting to me. I mean, you got these, again, I think Bear Clooney is the archetype of Kunkistan and Chomistan. He's got 5, whatever it is. There are, I don't know if you want to use the word hype pieces, whatever. It's okay. I get it. You got a Daytona, you got whatever. Anybody can buy those watches. You write the check. It doesn't tell me that you have taste. It doesn't tell me you know anything about watch. It doesn't tell me anything about. I think the idea of like people collecting stuff, like a car, you get into cars, you get into art. It's about personal expression, right? Personal expression. And, if you buy a basic stock car, I don't know, it's nothing special. I mean, you buy a basic stock Ferrari, it's actually kind of looked down upon. Like even this guy Patel Philippe, I think he drives. I mean, this guy has bad taste. I mean, he got a Lambo customized with cherry red paint, which is like, I mean, only a Bangladeshi would do that because everybody knows Lambo colors have to be like tangerine type, exotic wild colors, not cherry red. You want like lime green, tangerine orange, yellow, crazy colors, not cherry red. That's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, let's go back to, I can't have any, no, you don't have to. No, the black watch, to give you the bottom line, to give you your $5 worth, you buy a watch like this. I mean, I don't think you can get it. You're not going to get this on the secondary market at auction or whatever. It's going to be very hard because they don't make that many. So the odds of it coming up is minuscule. So you're going to have to buy it direct. And that's, by the way, that's part of the process. I think that's part of the value is it's like you're ordering a bespoke suit, right? Like, look, back to the idea of like watches as a self-expression, like, all of a sudden, it used to be like 10 years ago, you see all these athletes and rappers, these guys who wear these horrible suits with like 10 buttons, in a row, they would only wear these bad, ill-fitting clown suits. And all of a sudden, I don't know, I think it's the last 7 or 8 years, what happened is, I think this guy, Tom Ford, who's got incredible taste, Tom Ford, the designer, guy's a genius. He started making men's suits, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever. And I think he made a deal with these different athletes because what he does, he also makes stuff to order. It's made to measure. It's not custom, but it's made to measure, right? And I think somehow or other he made a deal with their agents or whatever. All of a sudden now you see all these like rappers and athletes or whatever, mostly black guys I'm talking about, right? Specifically, mostly black guys who are doing this. And by the way, I think black people usually have better sense of style. I mean, could be a wilder style, but at least they have a sense of self-expression, right? And, most white guys, you look at these sports shows on TV, which, I every time I'm passing by TV, I don't watch sports, but I see this. I see these commentators. The black guys always have great style, and the white guys always wearing like some bad, shitty suit. But anyway, so Tom Ford, back to Tom Ford, he sells stuff off the rack for, I think it's like $6,000, right? And I think maybe if it's made to measure, if you're like a big guy, like a Shaq or whatever, it might cost you $10,000 or whatever, $8,000, who knows, right? The problem is this, right? The problem with that is, everybody's got that same fucking suit with the peak lapels, right? I was wearing that type of suit 25 years ago. I mean, well, not 25 years ago. Because I was getting those suits made on Savile Row. I mean, I was getting that made by, who's my tailor? What the hell is it? Henry Poole. I'm not advertising Henry Poole. I think they've gone downhill a little bit. Again, not an endorsement. But the Tom Ford basically is a copy of, kind of that Savile Row look with design. Who's the other guy? Anderson and Shepherd. Okay. By the way, speaking of Anderson and Shepherd, I'm going to tell you, do not go to Anderson and Shepherd. I tried to get a suit made by them. They fucked it up. And I had to go back 3 times with constant measurements. The guy totally botched the jacket. The guy was a retard. And he tried to like push, he tried to make it seem like they made him. By the way, a lot of these guys, there's a lot of new generation of tailors that have come in, like young guys now. And they're learning as they go along, right? The old guys, the guys who were working 20 years ago, 15 years ago, they're retiring. Those guys are out of the business. So there's a whole new generation of guys who are learning, and they're making a lot of mistakes. So you can get really screwed. Anyway, fucking Anderson and Shepherd wasted my time. The pants, because there's one guy that cuts the pants, that makes the pants. One guy makes the jacket. The pants were amazing, and that's what they do very well. The best pair of pants they fit amazing. They looked amazing. The jacket had a collar gap, and the guy, anyway, they gave me my money back, and I don't know somebody's probably wearing that suit now on eBay they bought, whatever. But the point is this, right? Why would you want to buy a Tom Ford suit, right? Which you'll be a basic tomato can because they all look the same. You know, you can spot that look from a mile away, and I'll know you're a tomato can if you're wearing that, right? You got the lapel is a little bit wide, it's a little bit whatever. Or you can get it bespoke, made to look, and you get the liner you want, the fabric you want. You get the thing fitted exactly proportionally to your body because not everybody looks good with the same width of lapels or this or that, whatever. You know, it'll cost you the same money, but you're going to have to go for, 3 or 4 fittings. There might be a mistake, or you never know. It's an adventure. It's an adventure, right? And that's part of the fun, right? So when you get this watch, where am I going with that? Part of the fun of spending 30 grand on this type of, customized piece is going through that process. I think it's definitely worth it if you have the money, if you have the budget to, and if you're not a tomato can where you need to, flip watches and be able to, be like a Patel Philippe, who's basically a crayon eater, or like a groomer or a pedo vibes guy who collects Disney, like the O'Cuck or Bear Clooney or these other Archie characters. You get something like this. You get Artisan de Genève or whatever it is. Again, these are kind of, this is whatever. These are skeleton. Who cares about skeleton? Let's see. I want to show you something. Where is it? They got a cool watch here. Again, I'm not. I don't know. They got a bunch of different stuff. I don't know. They do different stuff. They do different stuff with bezels, the bezel, this, that. They can change a lot of things. At some point, the watch market is going to come around to this. That's my take on it. Anyway, let's go back to Kleinfeld. Let's go back to Carlito Brigante. Carlito Brigante. Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer. You know who is a big Tag Heuer fan? Watch Nicholas. I think he was showing like 3 Tag Heuers. Tag Heuer is kind of the watch. I mean, that's the type of watch that, basically groomers and pedo vibes type of guys buy those watches by the dozen so they can, impress teenage boys, basically. Look, it's not terrible. I don't know, Tag Heuer. Listen, if I were you, I'd just get rid of the Tag Heuer, buy yourself a vintage Omega for $1,000, vintage Rolex for $3,000, and you'll be happy. You'll have something legitimate. You know what I mean? That's right. You got to get in at the ground level. Unbelievable, but true. Let's see. Yeah, the timepiece gentleman, if he had Kleinfeld as his lawyer, he might be getting off.
District Attorney's unfortunate investigative techniques now devolve upon me.
By the way, there's a lot of corruption. You think that these legal systems there's a lot of corruption. These guys, this is what happened. They tried to bust Carlito Brigante. They made some shortcuts. They thought they were above the law.
Painful duty of unleashing upon society a reputed assassin and convicted purveyor of narcotics.
No, never convicted on no dope.
Hubcap theft, not dope. Hubcap theft.
The indictment is dismissed. The prisoner's discharged. Call the next case.
Okay. No hard feelings, right?
I'll be seeing you, Brigante.
That was some line of crap you handed him in there.
Hey, that was no line of crap, man. I meant every word I said, Dave. You don't understand, see. You don't get it. I'm a free man, and I don't mean just out of jail. I am free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last.
I gotta work here. Save your energy.
There you go. Free at last. Hopefully, Anthony Farr will be free at last because Anthony does not deserve to be in the Huska. He's done his time. Let him work off the, pay off the, the $5 million he stole. He can do it. No problem. He could do it. Yeah, that's right. Unbelievable, but true. Now, let's go back to the watch market update, talking about Moser, which is the subject here.
Much money debt. Don't you do it. Don't pay more. You heard the number. Don't pay more than $7,000. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is an H Moser NC Enduro perpetual calendar. Perpetual calendar.
Perpetual calendar. By the way, one of my favorite complications is the perpetual calendar.
Gold. This is an unbelievable looking time machine. This H Moser is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So this is their perpetual calendar. Now, how does it work? Where is the day, the date, the month, the year? I have no idea. I really have no idea. You see the date, which is very basic. Where is the month, the date? I don't know what's going on with this watch. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. How do you tell the complication? How do you tell the month and the week, all that stuff? It's stupid. It's the dumbest watch. I think, I was in a Watches of Switzerland store, which was a mistake because I bought a Patek strap there. And the only reason I bought the strap is I figured, hey, I'm not going to buy anything from these guys. I'm not going to buy a watch from them. But you know what? Let me buy something. But I did need a strap. Let me buy something because, I want to see if I ever, develop a relationship. That was the dumbest mistake I made. $600 on a Patek strap, piece of garbage. Anyway, so because I'm wearing I got my 3940, right? That was a strap for that watch. So the sales lady's trying to sell me this watch, which is like 50 grand. I was like, "What, are you kidding me?" But this watch, nobody wants this. How much is it selling for? Let's find out. Poppy, how much is it selling for? Tell us.
White gold, the 1800, that's a reference number, 1800-0202, cosmic green fume dial, 42 millimeter. Unbelievable. Listen to this.
42 millimeter. That's a little bit big.
It has a 168-hour power reserve.
So that's 168-hour power reserve. Okay, I mean, I don't know. What's the big deal about a 168-hour power reserve? I mean, these guys appeal to children. They appeal to children. Like, okay, you got a different dial. You got this, That's right, the Green Rush. The Duke Rush. It costs millions to run the channel. Duke Rush is right. And look, the benefit of this channel is we're basically here to fight against the forces of darkness in the horological community that wants to pick your pocket, steal your children's lunchbox tuition money, and your hubcaps. This is otherwise. Look, you go to these other channels, they're going to be pushing this stuff because they're getting paid.
168-hour power reserve, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
No way. You're close, David. Unbelievable. You're close. Unbelievable.
By the way, you know who else is trying to scam you? Oisin O'Malley. I'm going to remind me to talk about Oisin O'Malley's latest scam. I mean, really, he's involved with another grift.
This watch, they call it the Purity. Unbelievable. This watch has a retail price, ladies and gentlemen, of $59,700.
$59,000. Would you pay $60,000 for this piece of shit perpetual calendar, alleged perpetual?
$59,700, ladies and gentlemen.
How much is it selling for now?
It's unbelievable.
But true.
And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. You cannot continue being, spoofballs, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot continue being dodo birds. When you hear this, you're going to go, wow, this is an unbelievable watch. H. Moser is making tremendous craftsmanship on their watches. If for some reason they're just drowning in water, unbelievable. Don't pay for that.
The whole thing that they're telling, oh, it's craftsmanship. It's that. Who cares? I mean, they tell you, oh, it's hand finished. It's this, it's that. To polish the beveled edges on the movement. I don't really care what you do with the movement. It's like telling me that, oh, the engine in your Ferrari, it's hand polished. We hand polish each piston and each whatever it is. I don't care. I really don't care. All I care about is how it drives, how it sounds, and how it handles. I don't really care what the engine looks like. I mean, it's kind of cool if you show me the engine. It's got that. It's cool to look at it. But you know what? I don't really care. I mean, doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
I watch.
Same thing with the movement. I mean, the idea of the movement as a selling point, that's for tomato cans.
I watch more than $27,000.
$27,000, down 50%. Wow. Unbelievable, but true. Look at this. Duke Green Rush is a major supporter of this channel. I mean, if it wasn't for Duke Green Rush, this channel would have to shut down. I mean, it's donations, it's contributors like Duke Green Rush that keep this channel on the air. And, you know, if we can just get a few wires, I mean, these super chats, as much as we like them, it doesn't pay the bills. We need the wires coming in. So please DM me to get the wire instructions so you could make a contribution, you know, which could, you know, do something like, I don't know, 100 grand, 200 grand, 500 grand. That's the type of thing we need. And Green Rush has actually sent us those types of contributions. I mean, Green Rush sends us, I mean, you know, 50 grand a week, usually 50 grand a week, you know, and that's what keeps this channel on the air. That's the reality. I mean, and we're just giving you the full disclosure here. This is the only channel that gives you full and honest disclosure, unlike these tomato can channels out there. So let's see what Poppy has to say. This Puerto Rican hubcap thief who's been deported and now is broadcasting from La Isla del Cucarachas y Basura.
Will you really have enough money in retirement? With Fisher Investment's definitive guide to retirement income.
Don't pay more
Grifters.
than $27,000. You do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $27,000. This guy out there, ladies and gentlemen, the watch market is dead. You do whatever you want.
Another Moser. This is the one that a lot of the tomato cans are pushing this watch.
It's
basically a ripoff. It's a ripoff. It's an amalgamation of the E-Bell bracelet, the whatever. It's like, you know, it's an amalgamation of by the way, all you need to know that it's a shitter is that Zuckerberg has one of these, okay? Mark Zuckerberg, who basically has no taste. I mean, honestly, you look at the random watches he's buying. I mean, it's like random kind of hype watches. And he's got some expensive watches, but like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what is the context? Like, it's just random. I think he might be getting them for free. I think he's getting them as like somebody's sending him, like dealers, these watch dealers, these backpack dealers are sending him watches to his publicist, his stylist. They're sending him these watches and saying, hey, Mark, wear this watch for a week. Tell me if you like it. If you don't like it, send it back. And take some pictures, and everybody's going to think you're cool. Everybody's going to think you're cool when you wear this watch. And, you know, he takes a pictures of himself. You know, he's, I don't know, surfing or masturbating, or whatever he's doing, wearing the Moser. And, you know, he wants to be seen as a cool guy. That's been his goal for the last 20 years. Finally, he's finally getting some attention. He's finally getting, it's from the watch nerds. The watch nerds. If you look at his Instagram, it's all the watch nerds are commenting on it. It's only watch nerds. Like, nobody else gives a shit. Like, you know, he's trying to get laid. He's trying to get some pussy. And you know what? The problem is women don't care about your watch, really, unless, you know, they have really impeccable style, and then they would know something. And if they did, you know, then they would be into like serious watches and not this, right? Like this watch, like, I mean, you know, you try to pick up some hoe at the nightclub, you know, the chickies, the mommies, the bottle service, you know, in Miami, you know, they're gonna think you're a tomato can. They're gonna think this is like a Swatch or something. That's right. Juan, you know, all of a sudden he's trying to get the super chats. He does need to get the transgender surgery. If you look, he's been transitioning. He's got the long hair now.
Watch is an H. Moser stainless steel streamliner. This watch is unbelievable. You know, this is a beautiful streamliner. You know, fly back chrono 6902/120, 42.8 millimeter casing. Has a read. Your money, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, now look. You remember Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner? Remember when he started transitioning? He started growing the fingernails, the hair. Look at the Poppy over. He's grown the hair. He's got the hair, and I think he's going to be coloring his nails. He's going to be polishing his nails. I guarantee you, within a few months, you're going to see that beard go away, and you know, he's going to start looking more like you know, an elderly woman, an elderly Puerto Rican woman. He's going to look like what's her name, Chiquita Rivera.
Do whatever you want.
Anybody remember Chiquita Rivera? Actress.
Our next watch is another H Moser.
This guy's on a Moser kick. He's on a Moser kick. Again, what is this? What is this garbage? Who buys this garbage? Again, I'm not saying it's a bad watch. I'm not saying it's a bad watch. It's he was wearing stockings. Yeah. Listen, I bet Juan is wearing like women's underwear underneath. I bet he is. He's definitely, listen, a lot. Okay, all kidding aside. I mean, listen, because you know, I spent a lot of time around Puerto Ricans. You know, they're all over New York, right? That's why I had to leave to get away from them, right? But no, a lot of Puerto Ricans are into like cross-dressing and transsexuals, transvestites. It's a big thing in the Puerto Rican community, right? And really, they love transvestites. It's a big thing there, right? I think Juan is transitioning so he can get some action. Unbelievable, but true. Now, back
Cheap Pioneer, Marble Green. You know, Marble Green. Unbelievable, that Marble Green. You know, with a 42.8 millimeter casing. Reference number 3200-1202. Retail price $14,200. How much do you think that watch? I'm going to tell you, you should have paid more than that. How much? How much do you think? You know, stainless steel with a 72-hour power reserve. You know, with a textile strap. Unbelievable, that Marble Green dot. No takers in that? Nobody knows how much? I'm going to tell you. I tell you the retail price of the H Moser. I told you H Moser is $14,200. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that H Moser. Don't pay more. I mean, you do whatever you want.
How much?
But don't pay more than $6,000. You know, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody dead.
6,000. Well, that's a big drop. That's a big drop. It's interesting. We haven't seen Poppy talk about, Moser and these other independent brands before. He hasn't been talking about that. Yeah, he does the usual basic stuff. But Moser is terrible. Yeah, I mean, 95%. Listen, there's only a few things. Like, again, there are watches that are increasing. We do talk about them on this channel. And usually it's got to be something like right now, again, anything that's brand new from Rolex Patek is going to drop. Again, every new Rolex, every new Patek is on kind of a downward trajectory, unless it's like something really, 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 really special, very limited production, right? Otherwise, they're heading downhill. It's like the type of watches that, the Kakistani, the Chombostanis, the Bukyakistani, the JJ Watch Hangout, the Archie. It's the type of stuff that these guys are buying. The Breguets, all that stuff is garbage, right? The stuff that's moving up is certain niche, neo-vintage, vintage. We're talking watches from the late 60s till about 2015. And there's some deals out there. I mean, look, we've been showing you the watches that have doubled in the last year, and we told you that they were going to move up. Like, again, I hate to be like a broken record. The Audemars Piguet Cobra, which is, again, it's a piece of shit, but the trend was up, it was going up. The Geezer watch thing, right? The Ellipse, Patek Ellipse is up. Patek 3940, Patek Perpetual Calendar 3940. I mean, that is kind of going, already into the blue chip category. But that watch is, I told you a year ago, it's going to hit the six figures. It's increased probably this year, I don't know, 10, 15%. It's just going to compound. It's going to be $100,000 watch in about a year. The chronographs are dropping. There are certain Patek models that are increasing. The Ellipse, vintage Ellipse models are still a good buy. Anyway, let's see what he's got to say.
It's a Rolex white gold date olive dial.
Ooh, white gold white gold with the green dial. That one is not the way to go. The blue dial of this version, white gold, I think is a nice watch. I think it's a beautiful watch. And you can get it from like 30, probably low 30s, like $32,000.
White gold. Unbelievable, this watch. 40 millimeter.
It doesn't look good. White, gold, and green doesn't work.
Reference number 228239. Retail price $46,300. And at one moment, it was over $85,000. It went all the way up. All the way up. It went all the way up to $85,000, ladies and gentlemen.
How much?
And we're going to have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. And we're talking about used slider condition material watches.
Used slider condition. How much, Poppy? How much?
Channel. And we're going to tell you, don't pay more. I mean, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. But don't pay for that date olive green dial, white gold. Don't pay more than $33,000.
$33,000. Don't let them steal your children's lunchbox money. Now, I think it's actually less. I think So listen. I actually think the day-date 40s. I think some of them are kind of cool. I mean, I like the meteorite dial one. I really like it, but they're in a downward trajectory. I think it's being held up a little bit, but the rest of them are these white gold models, or I mean the day-date 40s, the basic day-dates. I can't see them, going above 30 grand. I mean, they're going to be below. They're going to be at or below 30 grand, which is normally what would happen with the day-date 36, right? Normally they would sell at a discount forever. I mean, it's always been that way for the last 100 years, right? And the same thing is going to happen with the day-date 40, the precious metals. It's going to be, if it sells retail at 45, it'll be 30,000 on the secondary market, 32,000, maybe even high 20s. So I think the meteorite, which does have a premium of, let's call it 10 grand, is going to head to 40 grand. Right now they're in the high 50s, like 55, whatever, 55. I think the place to buy a watch like that would be 40 grand. I don't even feel comfortable at 40 grand. I think they're like 30s, 28 is kind of where you want to get into these things.
You do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Our next watch is a Rolex Rose Gold Day Olive Green Dial with a 40mm casing. Reference number 228235. Retail price $46,300. $46,300, ladies and gentlemen. And at one moment that watch went all the way up to $95,000. There's a real big long line of lollipops.
So one of the benefits of being a baron, being an aristocrat on this channel, is you get valuable advice, which we don't give to the peasants, only to the barons. That's right. Only the aristocrats get this personalized advice. I think a 70s Rolex Datejust is always a good buy. Let's pull it up. Hang on a second. I don't even know this number. Oh, hang on a second. Let me. Let's pull this up. Let's help out the aristocrats. Rolex 1601. All right, what is that? Okay, so Rolex 1601, low to high. By the way, the one thing you do need to look out for is you could have Frankenstein type watches where they got parts from different. You gotta be a little careful. It's not going to be a big deal. It really is not a big deal. But look what you can get now. Okay, here's I think the value proposition. Now the watch, you really do want this on. In theory, you want it on the bracelet, right? In the Jubilee bracelet. The problem is, and I'll tell you what the problem is with this era. The Jubilee bracelets of the 70s are terrible. They're flat. They're literally made out of tomato cans. I'm not kidding. They're made literally out of tomato can material. Look at this. This is the bracelet. The quality. Look, it's a flat. It's like a stamped metal. It's cheap. It's dirty. Look at that. It's disgusting. It's really tacky. It's very flimsy. Look, if you can put up with it, it's okay. But it really bothers me. I remember my first Rolex I had. I mean, it was a newer. I mean, at the time it was new. It was like a 1997, whatever it was, and it was a 90s watch. The bracelets were better than this, but still they were chimsy, and it bothered me so much I had to get rid of it. But what you want to do, again, this is going to be controversial because all these knuckleheads, these scumbags at like the Archie channel, they're going to tell you, oh, you can't wear this on a strap. That means you're broke. Oh, who wears a watch on a strap? No. The move is you don't want to wear that bracelet because it's terrible. You want to get it on a strap, but you want to get a custom strap. You're going to want to get like a suede or something cool. You got to go to like Jean Rousseau, whatever. Spend $200 on a cool strap. I would get something like this, like casual looking, like a suede, nubuck, whatever it is. This kind of looks like a little bit of a cheap strap, but this is kind of the basic idea, right? And I think two-tone looks cool. And this is how it looks good. I think if I saw somebody wearing this watch, I would think, wow, this guy has style. But the one thing is also you want to make sure you got to get the Rolex buckle. You're gonna have to get. It's gonna be an aftermarket buckle. Most of them are fake. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be $20 or whatever. But that's it. That's the buckle that you're gonna get. You got to have that buckle. I mean, that's a fake buckle, by the way. It's not the Rolex. But I mean, I think it's a cool look. I mean, it's like unique, right? This is, you wear a watch like this. People who have taste, like people who have style, they're going to be impressed. And they say, wow, that's cool. Like, first of all, it's a cool vintage watch, right? You got it on a strap. That's something they're not used to seeing. And you're not going to get these knuckleheads saying, hey, is that a real Rolex? Hey, is that a real Rolex? And also, you know what? If you're like in a rough part of town, nobody's going to rob you of this watch. I mean, you can wear this watch in London. You can walk around Mayfair with this Rolex on a strap. Nobody's going to rob you. You know why? Because these guys, they don't know that it's a Rolex. They're not used to seeing that, so they don't think it's a Rolex. And it's like, they're going to think, oh, it's probably a fake, or it's whatever, or it's this. So, and this watch, it's not going to go any lower. You can probably get this for like $3,000, 1973. This is in good condition. You might be able to get this for $3,000 even. Yeah, look, there's some like in the $3,000 range. If you pay cash, you might be able to get what? Oh, this is the real vintage. That's the dial. It's what do they call it, pi dial or whatever. I would try to get this. This is like the vintage dial with the door. I think they call this the door stop. This is actually a very desirable watch right here. I wish it was two-tone, but look, you got the door. You see the dial, the hour markers. It's the door stop markers, which are that's the vintage look with the pi pan. I think they call it. And by the way, I'm not an expert on all this Rolex vintage bullshit, but this is a cool watch. You don't want the strap, but this is a cool watch. I think, look, if you're going to get a strap, the one thing I would say is if you're going to do the look on the strap, get a two-tone watch, either gold or two-tone. I think it looks good on a strap. You don't want to wear a stainless steel watch on a strap because then it looks like you're a brokester. A stainless steel watch, maybe on a certain type of rubber strap or whatever, but no, there's cool stuff out there. Oh, you got a linen. This is one that's ugly, but you got linen dials. I would totally go for this. Again, don't pay more than $3,000 for these things, though. 1972. Wow. And by the way, this is the era when Rolex was really Rolex. I mean, this is a real Rolex. This is when Rolex was like prestigious and like, it was only worn by people who were like, high rollers. It wasn't like every average guy. Like, it wasn't like every average tomato can had a Rolex back in the 70s. You really had to be somebody. Yeah, you want to get a good leather strap. You want to get like a suede nubuck, something that looks, looks like it's got some style. Yeah, Archie's a fuck. Look. I've said this before. He's basically a moron. I'm not like saying it to be nasty or anything. I'm just telling you a fact is that he's got no. He doesn't really know that much about watches. I'm not saying like he does. He knows a lot of basic stuff, very shallow knowledge. He's got a lot of shallow like ideas. He doesn't really know stuff like in depth. He doesn't have an idea of trends. He doesn't know where trends are going. But worst of all, he has zero sense of style. And watches, this stuff is all about, the fashion trend, where things are going. I mean, look, the reason you're buying this watch is because, the reason why you're buying any watch is because you think it looks cool, which means It's a fashion item, okay? It's a fashion item. Get it through your head. And you don't want to take fashion advice from a guy with horns in his head who wears, $2 shirts, T-shirts, or whatever. This guy's a moron. Every watch he's ever bought, he's lost money on. You realize that, right? He buys watches that drop in value because he buys the wrong watches. So he's a knucklehead. Yeah, I'm wearing, like, it's funny. Right now I'm wearing the Yacht-Master 40. It's a little bit big for me, frankly. It's a little bit big, but I like it. I actually kind of got used to it. I can't go beyond it, but 40 I can pull it off barely. I can barely pull it off. I mean, it looks okay, and it makes it a little bit more legible. Whatever, it's fine. And I have a small wrist, so it's like it's okay, but you can't wear a 40 millimeter on a strap. I mean, that the new Rolex bracelets are great; they're phenomenal. But any Rolex bracelet pre 2006, which we're talking about 2006 for like the Turnograph, whatever, was garbage. And on the Submariner, actually, the Submariner, they didn't do good bracelets till the ceramic. So it's, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to have this, because, Rolex is actually a very good watch for what they do. It's a very reliable, durable, solid watch. That's the value of the watch, right? And but you don't want to be wearing the same tomato can watch. So at least if you have this and you got on a strap, you're not going to run into another knucklehead, some crayon eater who's wearing the same thing. I guarantee you, you'll never see another guy wearing this type of setup, because they're going to have maybe a different strap if they have those. Yeah, send money now. Send money now. You have the Yacht-Master 40. Yeah. Rhodium. Yeah. I don't like the rhodium. I don't like the gray dial. I've said this a bunch of times. It's not bad. In real life, it looks kind of cool. I just don't like. I don't think the gray color is going to age well. Like 10 years from now, I think it's not going to look as good. I think it's going to look dated. That's what I think. I think also gray I find to be very it's just a boring color. It's not a color. Gray is not a color. It's like random. I don't know. And then they got the blue secondhand, which is like, I don't know, it looks kind of feminine. The Tiffany blue, robin egg blue. I don't like it. I think you gotta, with that watch, the best version of it is the blue dial. The blue dial. I have the chocolate dial with two-tone, but only because, I just wanted some extra color, but when I bought my watch, I was prepared I was expecting it to drop in value or not to increase that much, or to be at least dead money, because, two-tone historically, Rolex, not desirable. I mean, it's coming back. People are into it, but if you're concerned about return on investment, I would get the blue dial. Yeah. Oh, boring was the plan. Yeah. I mean, the problem though is it's not that boring. See, the problem with that watch is, I mean, you think it's boring, but it's kind of a blingy watch. It does have, like, the bezel reflects light. The bracelet is kind of shiny. It's not a subtle watch by any chance. Okay, everybody knows it's a Rolex. I mean, well, they don't recognize the Yacht-Master, but you can spot that watch from a block away. You could spot it. It's very apparent what it is. So it's not. I mean, you don't want to wear that watch in London or like high crime places, because it's apparent what it is. So that's not going to give you. It's not a stealthy watch. Exactly. I agree. 2 pounds. Oh, this is a real aristocrat. This is from the old country. See, this is the thing. See, the thing is, the Europeans, they appreciate the value of investing. That's right, investing in aristocracy. Because how much would it cost you to become an aristocrat? Like in, I don't know. It's you got to marry into the right family. I think I don't think you can get a title if you're a man. I think you have to. I don't think you have to get. I don't know. It's very difficult. It's not like you can just buy a title now, or if you can, it's going to be very expensive. But here, we're giving you a title for only $5. That's a bargain. There you go. There you go. Look at this. This guy's in Amsterdam. In Amsterdam, imagine. You know how much Rembrandt and what's his name would have paid. Kees van Dongen would have paid for a title, or what's his name? Who's the other guy? What the hell is his name? The other portrait painter of the 16th century. It'll come to me. It had like the slashed type look, gray art. Anyway, yeah, they would pay a fortune to buy a title. Here, $5. That's like €4. That's like 4.25 euros. You're getting valuable device, so you don't get fleeced. You don't want to get fleeced by that guy, the grifter of Amsterdam. We're talking about, we're talking about Van Gogh. No, I wasn't talking about. No. The guy I was talking about was the contemporary of Rembrandt. He was a great painter of portraits. They did like, what the hell is it? It's it'll come to me anyway. No. Van Gogh. That's the guy. That's what's his name? That's that vintage watch dealer that you see. Amsterdam vintage watches. I call him Van Gogh. He looks like Van Gogh a little bit. He's got the glasses and something. He looks like he looks a little bit retarded because of the glasses. I think they're like magnifying glass or something. So I'm always waiting. He's got the orange hair a little bit. He's got kind of like a reddish blondish hair. So I'm just waiting for him to show up on a video missing an ear. Jasper with the wooden shoes. Jasper with the wooden shoes and the tulips. Yeah, you don't want to mess with the Dutch. The Dutch are, rough people. They're very rough people. They defeated Spain. That was the most powerful country. In the 17th century, they defeated Spain, the most powerful empire. And, the Dutch are actually the tallest people. The Dutch are the tallest men on the planet. They grow very tall, relatively speaking. So the Dutch, and they're what do you call it? Very very rough people. You don't want to mess with the Dutch. They're not like the soft Americans that need comfort and they need this. I mean, the Dutch are happy to wear, the wooden shoes and, hardworking, focused, But yeah, this Jasper is a grifter. He's a grifter. Nico, another grifter. Quite a few, these guys are a disgrace. They're actually an embarrassment to the Netherlands. That's right. Nico, that's the walrus, the fat walrus, the fat bastard walrus. And then you got the Van Gogh. They're both. I think they're going to be. They're going to get their passports revoked. They're going to get their passports revoked and deported. They're going to be deported to La Isla de Cucarachas. That's right. Nico is going to get deported to La Isla de Cucarachas. I think he's on the run. I think he's. From what I heard, he's on the run. He's in Dubai because they kicked him out of Ireland. How bad do you have to be to get kicked out of Ireland? Something. I mean, I don't know. Something apparently, something with this Nico. Something happened in the Netherlands. Something happened where he, for whatever reason, had to abscond. Allegedly, again, this is an allegation. coming from the other grifter. That's like Jasper. Jasper implied that Nico was deported from the Netherlands. Yeah, that's what happened. Unbelievable, but true. Nico worked with Jasper. Yeah, something happened. There was some homoerotic friction. No, I don't think Nico ever stole hubcaps. Nico may have stolen bicycles. In Amsterdam, they steal bicycles. They don't have hubcaps. They don't have cars. They're not car people, really. Over retail for Tag Heuer? I don't follow his prices. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know, Nico. Like I think he's basically like a grifter. I think he's like a guy who copied the Archie thing, and I'm actually kind of fascinated. How did he really like exploded on the internet? I mean, like all of a sudden, like this guy, like he's a weird looking guy. I mean, which goes to show you, like, if you have like a weird look, I mean, he made it work for him, right? He's got that like walrus, beaver. He's got those beaver teeth, the walrus teeth with the whole thing. And that's part of his like image. I mean, if I was him, I would not, get my teeth fixed or lose any weight. I would stick with that look because that's the look. People like that because you know what it is. What's interesting? I find that on the internet, people like these fat guys because they think they're more trustworthy. If you notice, all the fatsos on these channels, they do well. Like you got the fat walrus, you got the hungry hippo. You know who the hungry hippo is, right? You got the Archie Luxury, you got Bear Clooney, you got the JJ Watch Hangout, which is a bunch of fat slobs, a bunch of old busted down valises. You got Don Corleone, Il Duce del Chomostan, who weighs like 500 pounds. Yeah. You got to put on some weight. You got to put on some weight to get the sales. People like that, apparently. Well, I don't know about his prices. Does he have high prices? Wow. Wolven. Oh, yeah, that's the other guy. Those two fat bastards. I mean, I'm not here to make fun of people's weight, but like, but there is a trend. There is a trend of these like guys. What the funny thing is the Wolven guys, like, what bothers me is when he shows the watches, that guy, like, he chews on his fingernails. He's got his fingernails all chewed down. It looks disgusting. Like, I don't want some guy putting his fingers in his mouth and he's putting those fingers from his mouth into his asshole. He's probably picking his asshole, and then he's touching the watch and he's licking his fingers clean after they come out of his asshole. I don't want that. Like, that's not luxury. But I think he does pretty well with that guy, the Wolven brothers, whatever they are. I wouldn't trust them. I mean, the Archie, the whole, or Tag. Yes, stay away from Tag. Stay away from Tag. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to Papi. Let's go back to Carlito Brigante and see what he's got to say.
Suckers, window lickers, crayoniers, and tomato cans who are ready to give up all their money and all their children's tuition.
Children's tuition money and lunchbox money.
Book fair money. Unbelievable, but true, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. And we're going to have to tell you, don't pay for that Rolex Rose Gold out of green dial. Date. You do whatever you want, but don't pay more than $41,000.
The Rose Gold, the green dial. This is actually one of the better. I think if you get the 40. I think the classics, the one that they're going to be desirable, is going to be this model, the white gold blue dial, the meteorite dial, if you're into that, with the baguette diamonds. Again, that's not for everybody really, but this and the white gold blue dial are the ones that are going to really stand the test of time. This actually looks really good. It's not for everybody. I think like if you have like light skin, it's a little bit too, I don't know, might look a little bit, I don't know. You need a tan to pull this off the right way.
Unbelievable. And we're going to have to tell you, don't pay for that Rolex.
Now, wait.
Keep giving your money away. That's fine with me. That's fine.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. What is this? This is the watch. You know who got this watch? One of the tomato cans. That's right. That's right. Watch Nicholas has one. I think another tomato can also. I think a couple of the tomato cans have this.
The next watch is an unbelievable watch. It is the Rolex White Gold Yacht-Master 42mm Oyster Flex.
Wow.
Reference number 226659. It has a retail price of $34,000.
$34,000. Now, I'm actually shocked that this thing is still above 20.
$34,000, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible.
It's
anybody that
big. This is 42 millimeter. That's so. I think they also make it in 40, but I don't understand the value proposition with the black rubber. It's like, you know, the rose gold one is kind of cool, but you know,
goes in to a Rolex AD that doesn't know much. I want you to pay attention and hear me out. If you go to one of those Rolex local ADs around where you live at, and you walk in there and they say, yes, you tell them you have any Rolex available, and yes, we have a beautiful Rolex Yacht-Master White Gold 42mm, unbelievable for you. And the retail price is $34,000 plus your taxes. I'm going to tell you right now, don't buy from them. Buy somewhere else. I don't want to use the word, you know, Muppet Boiler Room, secondary gray watch market, but maybe it's better to buy it there.
Wow. Juan is recommending that you have to go and buy this from the Muppet Boiler Room channels. That's right. That is correct. 26? Let's find out. How much? The price is right. Let's find out. How much? Survey says, let's go back to Papi.
I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch. Wow. The watch costs $34,000 plus your taxes. I'm going to tell you, don't pay more than
plus your taxes.
$22,000 in drop.
$22,000 in drop. 22.
You do whatever you want.
Wow. I actually think this watch is going to go to like below. It's going to be like 18, 17 grand. It's a bit of a dog. At 17 grand, I mean, it might be an interesting buy because you're going to have this like giant piece of white gold on your wrist, and you know it's kind of interesting. But again, you know what's funny is all these knuckleheads. They make fun of me. They make fun of me for wearing a gold day date, you know, which is basically technically a dress watch. A day date is technically a dress watch, right? And people do wear it on a strap, like all the Italians wear that watch on a strap. I'm not talking about the Americans. I'm not talking about the Guidos in Staten Island and Bay Ridge and all that. No, they're wearing the gold, the Tony Soprano look. I'm not talking about those guys, the Jersey Shore. No, I'm talking about like the real Italians, right? The ones who speak Italian, par Italiano. You go to Milano, you go to Napoli, Roma, Venezia. They're all wearing the day date on a strap. They don't wear it, you know, because they got style. It's about, you know, it's a different look. So these tomato cans are making fun of me wearing that watch on a strap, which looks cool, versus this, which is like, I gotta tell you, this is the ugliest strap. I can't believe Rolex makes this. It's so fucking ugly. It looks so bizarre. It really looks horrible. I mean, it's really ugly looking. I do have to say, it's very comfortable on the wrist. Very comfortable. This Oyster Flex, very comfortable. But it looks so ugly and it's so stupid being black rubber on the wrist. It's like, you know, what are you going diving? I mean, it's just bizarre. Black rubber on the wrist. Is that some sort of like, are you going deep sea diving? Are you into some sort of weird like latex and rubber fetish? Like a lot of these Germans are, like Higgins, you know, they're into like weird like latex and rubber stuff and bathroom toilet sex. That's what this watch is for. It's for like guys who are into like weird gay bathhouse type action. I mean, you know, and again, we know that Watch Nicholas was being groomed by, you know, Don Corleone, Il Duce del Chomostan, you know, the Man Country Bathhouse in Chicago. That's the watch you wear. This is the official watch of Man Country Bathhouse. I would say this is the official watch of Man Country Bathhouse. That's the watch you wear in the jacuzzi over there, and and the other thing, whatever goes on there.
The watch costs $34,000 plus your taxes. I'm going to tell you, don't pay more than. You heard the price. $34,000. I'm going to pay 22. No matter which way to give you the watch, don't pay more than that.
This is Canyon Ranch.
More than
Here, the body is challenged. The mind.
The next watch is the Rolex Rose Gold Yacht.
In rose gold, it actually looks kind of cool because you got more of a contrast. I don't know, it looks cool because you got the rose and the black. It's actually kind of interesting. This black ceramic and the rose is interesting. It's got an interesting contrast. I think if you're going to go for this Yacht-Master look on rubber, this is the one you do.
Yacht-Master 40 millimeter Oyster Flex, Rose Gold Oyster Flex. Reference number 126.
40 millimeter. This is like a normal size.
655. Retail price $32,100. $32,100.
This was the hot watch like 5 years ago. All these influencers were wearing this watch. Like all these YouTube bros, all the bros were buying this watch like 5 years ago. It's starting to look dated. It's starting to look dated. If I would get one Rolex, if I had a budget, like in terms of modern Rolex, if I had to buy a modern Rolex, the cheapest modern Rolex would be either a Yacht-Master with a blue dial, or Datejust 41 with a green dial or the blue dial. And, whatever. I like the Jubilee bracelet. Or actually, you know what? I don't like the way they do the clasps on the new Jubilee. So it's, I don't know. But the blue dial, like the one that Joe Biden has, or the green dial, I think the green dial is actually better. It's a little more unique. So I would get like Datejust 41 green dial. But actually, if I really had to choose one, I would get the Yacht-Master 40 blue dial. One and done for the Rolex. Modern.
$100. And ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want with your children's tuition money. And don't pay for that Oyster Flex Yacht-Master Rose Gold 40 millimeter. It is an unbelievable time machine tie, but I'm telling you, the retail price is $32,100 tie. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay more than $21,000 in. Okay?
21,000.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Watch market update.
Yeah.
I told you the month of January, I kept my end of the bargain. I kept my end. I will give you some information exactly in dropping. That's right, in dropping. It's dropping, Bobby. And we're almost to the month of January over.
I think really, you know what actually, on the Datejust 41, the green dial. If I had to do only one, I would do the green dial, and the green because green is the color. It's kind of the Rolex color, and they really did not make that many green dials throughout their history. It's always been their like trademark color, but yeah, they've done very few green dials. I mean, very rarely. I think they only did like a day-date green dial, with diamonds or the fume, whatever you want to call it. And then they did a special day-date with a green dial. And yeah, I don't think they ever did anything else with the green dial. Unless I'm mistaken, I think they never did a green dial for anything else. So a Datejust 41 with a green dial, with a fluted bezel, which is the classic Rolex look. It looks beautiful. And actually, it's not too bad. I know it's 41, but it's actually not bad. It wears fine.
We're going to be entering to the love month of February. So this is the reason that I'm doing all this, so you guys won't get fleeced and flim-flam, buying watches from these hucksters and hoodwinks. They're artificially holding up prices to get you, fleeced. Remember what happened to Michael Jordan, with his basketball team, the Charlotte Hornets. He got fleeced out of it. So, nobody helped him out. Michael thought he was a big boy at the round table, and he got fleeced. So I'm here to tell you guys, don't get fleeced, all right? Don't give away the children's tuition money.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Actually, I think though that ceramic and gold, you do kind of see it used in like design and jewelry. You do see it. It is kind of a modern thing. I'm okay with it. I'm actually okay with the ceramic and gold, and especially that black ceramic. It looks pretty cool. If you like black, if you want to have that look, it's a pretty cool look because You got the warm color of the gold. Is that a black doll or brown doll? I actually can't tell. I don't know. But the ceramic, the way it's set up, it's kind of like inset. It's inset into the bezel. So I think it's actually it looks very. It's got a real like Batman type of look. I mean Batman like in a good way. It's got this like, stealth Batman vibes, but in a positive way, not in that like, hokey way. Like like the Rolex they call the Batman, the black and the blue, which is terrible colors. Black and blue are just terrible. They don't look good together. Those two colors, they really don't. It looks like shit. It looks like you got punched in the face or something. Oh, it's a black doll. Yeah. Unbelievable. So let's see what else this tomato can has to say.
And I'm telling you, the retail price is $32,100, Ty. And I'm going to tell you, don't pay more than $21,000. They're dead in water. They're drunk.
I know a thing or two about assholes.
Oh, yeah. Look at these ads they're showing. Look at this is okay. I gotta watch this ad. This what a great ad. Hang on.
And they're more sensitive than you may think. Your normal roll of toilet paper is contributing to your risk of cancer.
Wow.
Recent studies have found that major toilet paper brands contain PFAs, forever chemicals. These chemicals, they don't break down.
Can you imagine this? Can you imagine a commercial of a guy taking a shit? I mean, literally, this is a guy taking a shit. He's sitting in the toilet. He's talking about toilet paper.
And they never leave your body. The big TP companies are using bleach and formaldehyde to process tree pulp. This is a nightmare for your body. It's causing inflammation, UTIs, hemorrhoids. But here's the good news.
I think, you know what it is? I think because I'm showing the Juan and Kino thing, that, we're talking about assholes, we're talking about all the stuff. So they serve up these ads.
Plant paper. It's 100% toxin free, and it's soft. It's about $15 a year difference to make the switch.
I got this.
That's 2 damn mochachinos.
This is a brilliant ad. Look at this. The guy grabs your attention right away. A guy taking a dump. It's kind of classy still because he's wearing it's a little weird. He's wearing a white robe. So like it takes away from the image of him taking a shit. But it is kind of weird. The guy's wearing a robe while he's taking a shit. And and then he gives you the value proposition. He gives you the value proposition, the price.
Now take care of yourself out there and never stop believing or shitting.
I mean, this is funny. This is a funny ad. Never stop believing.
Plant paper.
Who is this guy? Oh, Steven Dorff is an actor. Oh, that guy's a famous actor.
They're dead in water, ladies.
Where do I know this guy from? Oh, he was a guy in the 90s or something. He was like a famous actor. Now the guy's doing toilet paper commercials. They must have paid him a lot of money. Wow, that's amazing. On YouTube, this type of stuff you see. Anybody remember that other commercial they had for the poopery, squatty potty? He was in Blade. He was like a hot actor, I think, at one point. And then what happened? What happened to this guy? What happened to Steven Dorff? I think Juanita and Kino are big customers for that toilet paper. I think those guys are, that's probably why they're showing us the ad. We show Juan's picture here on the screen, and we're talking about shitter watches. We're talking about shitters. They hang on a second. Who's this guy? Ed Blair, Muppet Boy. Single-handed disrupted this. Don't be dumb. Oh my God. Anyway, so let's see. It's the Vacheron. I like the way you pronounce it. Vacheron. The one good thing about the Vacheron is They have this quick change system, so you can change from a steel bracelet to the leather to the rubber in like a second. Like you don't have to use a tool, which is great. I think it's a major thing, right? By the way, how come nobody says, "Oh, I can't believe you're wearing a vacheron on a rubber strap"? On a rubber strap, you're wearing a leather strap. No, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
These Sephora colognes are a scam. Did you know these luxury fragrances cost almost nothing to make?
Look, I'm getting, what the fuck are these ads?
David and I used to spend so much money on premium fragrances, and their smell.
Okay, what is this? Okay, what is this thing with all? Here's what I don't understand. Why do people talk about colognes on YouTube when you can't smell it? I can't smell it on YouTube. I see this guy, Tim Wright, that's out of 10 piece dits. He talks about colognes, and you got all these homos on his channel talk about colognes, and like, how do I know what it smells like? I mean, like, it's kind of, it's a little bit gay. Anyway, so you got these two bukyaks, these two Kukastanis. They're making cologne, and they're trying to sell you this cologne, and here's their little ad, and blah blah blah. And I guess they're buying cologne because they think if they smell good, they're going to get laid. These guys are not getting laid, especially this guy on the right with that beard. Look at this fucking guy with this beard. I mean, what the fuck is that? This guy's got the Taliban beard. That's the Pillsbury Doughboy with the Taliban beard. That's the Taliban beard. You're not getting laid with that beard. I don't care.
No, we get overpowered by our sweaty BO.
There are
sweaty BO.
Three main issues with luxury fragrances. One, they're
okay. You know what the main issue is? I don't want to see fucking grown men wearing T-shirts, trying to sell me a product. I mean, this is like, what are you trying to relate to me? You're wearing a T-shirt, like we're bros. I can relate to you, whatever. I don't want to see these two bukyaks wearing T-shirts. Why don't you dress properly? Put on like a fucking jacket. I don't know. Just fucking dress properly. I don't want to see you in your $5 T-shirt with your black Timex. I mean, look at this guy's wearing the black. Maybe it's a marketing thing to make it look like it's very cheap. I don't know what they're selling, but I'm not interested. I don't want to see these two bukyaks here, these Kukastanis here.
Stainless steel with a medium.
You know what the problem with the meteorite on Omega is? It looks terrible. The only people who do meteorite well is, I hate to say it's Rolex. Nobody does meteorite like Rolex. I mean, if you get a meteorite dial, Rolex makes a beautiful meteorite dial. I mean, they treat it to give it that silvery look. It's a real process. It's not that simple. A lot of these guys have a dark gray look, which looks like a rock. It doesn't look good.
Meteorite dial. Unbelievable. With a 43 millimeter casing. This is an unbelievable looking time machine. With that meteorite dial. And people off the gate were asking 30, 31, 29, 28.
What? 30,000 for an Omega? Come on.
I kept on telling Sweet Kick.
That case is so ugly. The case on this watch looks like it's something from the 60s and not in a good way.
Keen his friends, his young friends. That watch was going to die out. Just like the Miss Piggy, just like the Cuba test, they're going to die out. It's going to just die out. And 2 weeks ago, I told you don't pay for that watch more than $21,000. That's right. For that Omega Yacht-Master, face. Meteorite dial. This watch has a retail price of $17,100.
$17,000 for a meteorite. Okay. Oh, the meteorite that gives it the extra whatever. Okay.
17. Listen up and learn.
Wow, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked to hear this. So this was selling for above market because it's a meteorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, $17,100. Unbelievable watch. Meteorite dial. And I told you don't pay $21,000.
Okay, $21,000. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, this is going to be like a $10,000 watch. There's no way that they can sustain even this premium. Omega is a mass-produced watch. There's exactly the same watch you can get for $3,000, like literally, same exact watch.
$1,000 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it's not going to be a meteorite dial. It'll be whatever normal dial, 2005.
Ladies and gentlemen, today, me and Sweet Kick Kino are going to tell you. Don't pay for that Omega. For the meteorite dial, don't pay more than $17,900. You do what?
Okay, there we go. So that's what's going on. that's what's going on here. That is what's going on. Omega Omega is, I do have to say, I gotta say, I've seen a couple of interesting Omegas. I wouldn't buy Omega, but for a couple of grand, 2,000-3,000, they made some nice Omegas, like in the early 2000s, which have a moon phase. They got a date. They got a chronograph. $3,000. I would buy it. I mean, if I was on a budget, like I would go for it. Creative. What is this stuff here? How do I become a baron? How do you become a baron and get free watch review? Wow, what a great question. You know what? How do you click the join button? You click the join button, which is right below this video. Okay, you click that. You become a baron instantly. Instantly, you become an aristocrat. You become a real aristocrat. And you're going to have access to our top secret content, members only content. Everybody will know you're a baron because you're going to have a little logo next to your thing. Like you see Baron von Noob, he's got that little thing next to his name. That's a thing, right? And for a limited time only, we're going to give you a free watch collection review video. All you got to do is send an email to brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com. brutalwatchreviews@gmail.com right after you join, and I'll see, your username there, whatever. I'll know who it is. And then you send a picture of your watches. Again, but I don't want to see bullshit. Like, I'm not going to be doing a watch review video about your, Tag Heuer, okay? I don't want to see any Tag Heuers here. Okay? I only want to see, minimum Rolex, at the minimum. I don't want to see tomato can Tag Heuers or whatever. We're talking Patek, AP, vintage, modern, JLC if you have to, Yeah, Juanita has you guys brainwashed. Yeah, unbelievable, true. Ed became a baron. Yes. Ed became a baron. Where's Ed become, no, Ed is brainwashed by Juanita. Ed donates money to the Juanita channel. Ed is a tomato can peasant. We got real aristocrats. We're welcoming Baron Noah to the channel, a real aristocrat Noah. We got a contribution from Ugly South, $4.99. We got a Green Rush contribution of $20 in addition to the $200,000 he sent us by wire. That's right, $200,000 sent by wire last week. He hasn't sent any money this week yet, but we're counting on him to send money because, again, it costs millions to keep this channel on there. But yeah, so that's what we do here. That is what we do on this channel. Unbelievable. Yeah, the other channels are I think, you know who I think Ed is? I think that's Kino. I think that's the imaginary friend, which is basically him. I think that's who it is. That this guy is the ultimate window looker. I mean, why else would this guy, this Juan and Kino, this guy runs the same video 5-6 times in a row, 5-6 times in a row, just with different thumbnails. That's what this guy does. This Bukyak, he's talking about the same watches. Look, the only reason why we're showing him here is he was talking about Moser. He was talking about Moser. And Tim G. Who is that guy? Is that the one they call Squeaky G or something? Is that the one they call Squeaky G? That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. The only reason we're showing this Bukyak, this Juan who's been deported to La Isla de Cucarachas, is he was talking about Moser. I thought that was interesting. So that's why we brought him in here. We brought him in here to get a sense of, kind of a pulse of what the tomato. I want to know what the tomato cans are doing, right? Look, I spend my days amongst the the aristocracy. I need to know what the peasants are doing. Because when I tell the peasants let them eat cake, I need to know what kind of cake they're going to be eating. So we need to know what's going on with the peasants, and the best way to keep your finger on the pulse of the peasanthood so that they don't revolt and bring out the pitchforks is, we got to watch what's going on, right? That's right, Ed. Go back to Cockroach Village. Cucarachas, the cucarachas. Unbelievable, but true. All right, gentlemen's, and I do mean gentlemen's. We've covered everything on this channel that there is to cover, and we're going to thank our show sponsors. That's right. We got major show sponsors, including the Bill Gates Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation, the Nobel Prize Committee. They've all donated to keep this channel on the air, and including, who else? Baron Noah. We got the Ugly South. We got the Duke Green Rush, $20 super chat. And this, again, it's this super chat plus the other $500,000 that he sent over the last 10 days. That's what keeps the channel on the air. So we do need to send out our appreciation to Duke Green Rush, and of course Baron Van Noob. He's Dutch because he only gives $2. The Dutch also are very I don't want to say cheap. They're thrifty. They're a little bit, they're not big spenders. They're not flashy. They're not going to splash around a $20 super. They're going to do $2, which is €2. That's a good. That's actually very generous for the Dutch. Otherwise, because what they call a Dutch treat, the Dutch treat. So so we got the Baron Van Noob, and that's what it is. All right, so we got the buffalo, and we got to thank Ed the buffalo. We got this buffalo here, this tomato can. This guy, he's got crayons coming out of his culo. You know what a culo is? You know what a culo is? You Google it. The culo. That's what Juan is interested in. Juan wants to get into your culo. Unbelievable, but true. Unbelievable, but true. Green Rush, can you loan Ed some money? Loan him some money so he can make donations. I think that's very sensible. I think it's very sensible. Listen, if that Bogan of Brisbane, Archie Luxury, is taking out HELOCs, he's taking out HELOC loans and credit card loans to pay for his tomato can watches. I think it's just as sensible for Ed Blair to borrow money from you at, 25% or more to so he can make donations to the channel. I think it's, makes a lot of sense. All right, gentlemen. Ed, can you DM this Green Rush, and he'll how much do you want to borrow? How much do you need to borrow? I think you should borrow like 50 grand. I think you should borrow like 50 grand. So that'll, that would be a good donation. And, what do you call it? Oh, we got cannabis. We got one of the cannabis millionaires. A cannabis millionaire, cannabis billionaire. This guy may have gotten out just in time. He may have gotten out just in time. The marijuana business has been rough. It's been rough. These marijuana guys, these marijuana stocks are down 99%. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable, true. This guy made billions in the marijuana business. And now, you know who it is? I think I know who this is. You know who Green Rush is? It's Bruce Linton, our good friend Bruce Linton. Bruce Linton. From our other channel, which we're not going to mention right now. But yes, that's right. Oh, this guy got out at the peak. He got out at the peak. Shit. Well, not at the peak. A little bit early. Maybe a little bit early, right? 2017. 2017 is kind of like... No, that is kind of the peak. I think that was the peak. Kind of the peak, 18-ish, 17, 18. Yeah. That's... Wow. Do you know? Oh, you know Bruce Linton, right? No, I know. No, Bruce Linton made. I think he made a. How much did Bruce Linton? I think Bruce Linton made 100 milski. He did something anyway. By the way, I never understood marijuana. I never got high off it. I could never, for whatever reason, I inhaled it. I never understood it at all. I never got high. Never got high. I don't understand. I don't like the smell of it. It's not my thing. But you should lend this guy Ed Blair. You should lend him like 50 grand so that he can make donations to the channel. I think that would be a good investment for Ed. I think it would be a good investment, and I'm sure Ed, of course, is going to properly collateralize the loan. Right? It has to be a collateralized loan, like backed by real estate or horology, or I don't know. Maybe he's got some female relatives that he wants to put up as collateral. I'm sure the Green Rush is very flexible on what he will accept as collateral. All right, gentlemen, thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you all on the next one.